President Tony, and welcome fellow Rotarians and guests. So Tony asked me to just a short talk on the activities of the Community Services Committee. Not surprisingly, as you can imagine, the committee looks after the activities of the club in the area of community services, but the ones we don't look after all of them, so there's some projects around the club that are big enough on their own to be run as separate projects, so like the tree planting, that have been separated off so that they can be well managed and the committee can focus on other community services. The club's business plan has a couple of objectives set out for the committee. One of them is to support selective services and initiatives for the community, and the other one is to work on a specific initiative that will support the community and be developmental in nature. So when we, as a committee, joined together a few months ago now, doesn't seem that long ago, but it is a few months ago now, we looked at those, and we also, I talked with Tony about, as a club, what did we really want to get out of the Community Services Committee for the next 2 or 3 years ahead. And in my conversations with Tony, we talked a lot about, as a club, we want to focus on service opportunities rather than necessarily just providing financial support. So we looked at how, as a club, we can use the skills, the fantastic range of skills, the range of experience, and our time as club members as much as we have to provide that support to the community. And we also wanted to work, build on the great work of last year's committee. So what have we done so far? You probably all are aware of, in terms of relevant initiatives, we did the blood pressure awareness campaign. That was a hugely successful campaign, and we had about 25 members in the club got involved in that, which is a fantastic response from the club, given everyone's time and commitments. We originally were asked to cover one site. We ended up then being asked to cover 2 sites, which at the time was about how are we going to achieve that, but we did. And both sites got great turnout. The Wellington City Council site, which was the first site in the campaign, actually had over 250 people through in the 4 hours. So you can imagine how busy that was. And that was apparently very close in numbers to the largest site last year, which was in Invercargill. So they were really pleased, and the council, and I've already said to me, will we do it again next year? They loved working with us all. They said what an amazing group of people, so that was nice too. They all got great feedback from the Stroke Foundation, Wellington Free Ambulance, and the council and New World on how we all organised ourselves and presented ourselves, so that was great. We also learned as a committee how to manage that kind of event, and so we're writing up a little process so that these things become a lot easier and more streamlined in the future. The next initiative in this area that we're planning is around supporting the city mission Pack the Bus campaign. I don't know if many of you know Pack the Bus, but it's where involves a lot of schools and a lot of all companies where the City Mission asks for gifts that they can then use and package up and give to people and families in need at Christmas. So we're going to send out an email to everybody to let you know what kind of things they're looking for, and 2 weeks today we'll do a Rotary Pack the Bus here at lunch. So that should be a fantastic initiative. The other objective we have is supporting a community initiative, and in May this year the board, previous board, approved the support for Tiaro Healthcare Centre. Now I don't know if many of you have had the opportunity to be involved in the Tiaro Healthcare Centre in terms of what they do, but Joan and I went to visit them a couple of weeks ago, and they do a fantastic job providing doctor and nurse support to people in the community, particularly people who are disadvantaged. They might be homeless and living in Central Park or in the flats near Central Park. So a lot of people who can't afford healthcare, but obviously need healthcare, need preventative healthcare so that they don't end up getting sick, getting in hospital, etc. They're an amazing, wonderful group of people. So we met the practice staff, the nurses and the doctors. They all were there to meet us one morning, and they showed us around the healthcare centre, which they said any of us are welcome any time to visit. So it's at 331 Willis Street, so the top end of Willis Street. They've got a well-organised practice there, and they have a lot of focus on nurse care. So the nurses who've got years and years of experience in homeless, mental health, all sorts of different health issues that people have, They build relationships with people and do a lot of preventative care so that, as I say, people don't get sick. Now, in terms of what we've done as a club to support them, we've provided financial support for two things. So a fridge to store immunisations. So they showed us the fridge, and we're going to have a Rotary plaque put on the fridge. And that's great because immunisation is a really important part of what they do. So things like pneumonia vaccinations and that sort of thing, so that you don't then end up in hospital with those awful diseases, because they said a number of their patients are susceptible to that type of illness. And then the other thing that we've done is provided them with a server and software for patient records. And again, that's been fantastic for them, because before they were having to handwrite notes and then retype it in, lots of wasted time, whereas now they can just type it in, they've got access to records wherever they are, and they were delighted with both of those two parts of support, and really grateful to Rotary for doing that. As I say, they're putting plaques on the servers and the fridge, and they're also going to put a plaque in the waiting room as well to acknowledge Rotary. And next Monday, a number of us from the committee are meeting with the chair of Tiara Healthcare just to talk about the year ahead and how else we can support, what other activities we can do to support them. So that's what we've done so far. In terms of the next 6 months, it's really to continue to provide the support to the community initiatives such as the Pack the Bus. We'll get asked occasionally to provide volunteers to do fundraising on the streets of Wellington. We may get asked by other people to provide people with certain skills and expertise, and if we do, we'll come to the club to ask for that help. We'll obviously be really looking to embed our relationship with Tiara Healthcare Centre and making sure that the relationship works well for them and we're able to provide them with support that they need. And we'll also develop a plan for the year ahead, so that we've got a structured plan in place each year for the activities that pop up on a regular basis. So that's just a little short intro. We've got a fantastic committee of people and all really excited about doing supporting the community. So thank you.
Thank you, Sue.